Have you ever been sitting in class, not able to pay attention to a single word the teacher's saying, and you make a joke like, "It's like I have ADHD right now, I can't pay attention to anything." You wouldn't be totally inaccurate about ADHD, but sadly, it's much worse for those with the condition. According to a survey released by the Center for Disease Control, 9.8% of parents reported that their child aged anywhere from 3 to 17 years old has ADHD. I've had a couple of friends with ADHD, and hearing their stories made me want to learn more. And all the information I learned is going to be shared with you guys in this presentation today. So we'll be going over what ADHD is, what causes ADHD, and the treatments for ADHD. To start out, we're going to be going over what ADHD is. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder that causes difficulty paying attention, poor impulse control, and overactivity. You may ask yourself, what is a neurodevelopmental disorder? And according to Brighton Center for Pediatric Neurodevelopment, a neurodevelopmental disorder is when the brain is developing, there's neurological pathways formed. And when these neurological pathways are formed in a neurodevelopmental disorder, they cause impairments in cognition, communication, behavior, and motor skills. And this is why ADHD usually presents in younger children. They're developing at a very fast rate, so when these neurological pathways are formed that cause impairments, it causes very glaring symptoms. And according to psychiatry.org, the symptoms include forgetfulness, fidgeting, constant daydreaming, trouble paying attention, trouble controlling urges or temptations, and a struggle to make good relationships with their peers. This is why it's very important for school boards and parents to know what ADHD is. It can really affect the success of a child or student. So now that we better understand what ADHD is, we can go into the causes of ADHD. The causes of ADHD have been put down to 3 general things: environmental risks in the womb or early in development, brain injury, or genetics. According to Mayo Clinic, the environmental risks include tobacco use and smoking during pregnancy, drinking during pregnancy, premature birth, or exposure early on to lead. So back in the day when they used lead in paint, it was a serious issue because a lot of kids were starting to present ADHD-like symptoms because of lead paint. And according to the National Center for Biotechnology Information, diagnosis is a several step process. So it takes a medical examination, and then they have to go through a checklist of ADHD-like symptoms. On top of the checklist and medical examination, they have to talk to parents and teachers to see how the child behaves, so it's not maybe an isolated symptom. And according to psychiatry.org, there's no super specific causes scientists can put to ADHD, but scientists have concluded that children with ADHD have a reduced amount of white and gray brain matter. So now that we better know the causes, we can move on to the treatments. Treatments are broken into 2 categories. There's behavioral therapy and medication. Behavioral therapy can be included with a child's parents and the school system. And according to the Centers for Disease Control, there's a wide variety of behavioral therapy that includes peer interventions, organized skill training, and parent training and behavioral management. This type of behavioral therapy is not made to completely change the child and make them into a person that they're not. It's just made to reinforce positive behaviors that come with ADHD. And with medication, medication is broken into 2 main categories: stimulants and non-stimulants. Stimulants can be described as fast-acting medication, so within 20 minutes of ingestion, there's immediate effects, but they don't last as long. Non-stimulants can be described as almost a sort of opposite. They take a while to take effect, but they have been shown to last up to 24 hours within patients and children. The important thing with medication is every child reacts differently to medication. So it's important for the parent and school board to be in constant contact with their medical professional. So we have gone over today what ADHD is, what causes ADHD, and the treatments for ADHD. I hope you guys came out with a new perspective and awareness on ADHD. You never know when it could affect you or somebody you love. And that was the goal I hope you guys come away with today. Thank you guys for listening.